Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to War Memorial Gymnasium. My name is Len Hawley, Marketing and Development for Acadia University Athletics. October 20th, 1967 marked the official opening of what this is, the new War Memorial Gymnasium. In the 49 years since, tens of thousands of students, alumni, and community supporters have cheered on Acadia's court sport teams that have included conference championships and national championship teams. The face of this storied venue has undergone many changes over the past 5 decades, but without question, the new bleachers that you're enjoying tonight rank as one of the most significant improvements, offering fans a much more comfortable and safe environment to enjoy all of the action here in our court. Once again, our generous alumni, led by several former basketball players who played under the legendary coach Stu Aberdeen, provided financial gifts to make this a reality for you. Axeman basketball has a long history, and its rise to prominence on the national stage is attributed to one person who coached the program to 6 conference banners and Acadia's very first national championship in 1965. Tonight, we celebrate and honor the late coach, Stu Aberdeen. At this time, I'd like to welcome our special guest to the floor, the Director of Varsity Athletics, Mr. Kevin Dickey. One of Acadia's all-time basketball greats, former player under Coach Stu Aberdeen, Mr. Brian Heaney. We are very pleased to have with us the Aberdeen family from the United States tonight. Please welcome Stu's wife, Len Aberdeen. Lynn and Stu's daughter, Susie Aberdeen Waits, and her husband, Frank. And their boys are here, Breck and Miles. We're very pleased to have with us Lynn and Stu's daughter, Linda Aberdeen. And Lynn and Stu's son, Mike Aberdeen. Tonight's ceremony is made so much more special as we have a number of former Axemen who played for Coach Aberdeen, and some have traveled a great distance to be with us tonight. So I know they're all seated over here around Section 8 and some of the other sections. I would ask all of the former Stu Aberdeen players just to stand and let us give you a big round of applause and welcome back to Acadia. At this time, would you please welcome to the podium the Director of Varsity Athletics, Mr. Kevin Dickey.
Thank you very much. Really quickly, sitting back here, I'm watching people come through the front door and go around the court instead of walking through it to the other side. So it is a massive improvement right off the bat. So this is awesome. On behalf of Acadia University and our president, Ray Ivany, I want to welcome you tonight to a significant evening for our athletic program. It's not just our basketball and our volleyball teams that are going to benefit. It's going to be our whole athletic program and our whole university. I want to recognize somebody that's here tonight playing against us, Steve Konchelski, starting your 42nd year. Steve, you're a legend here at Acadia. You're a legend in basketball here in Canada, and it's so fitting that we're playing you on behalf of our program. Thank you for everything. This isn't just a refurbishment of a gymnasium. This is it almost seems like a new gymnasium. It really elevates our program. We're so proud of our facilities here in athletics right now, but this is a huge piece. We've got the Stevens Center outside that we're about 5 weeks away from opening the doors, and it really puts us at a national level, and we're excited about that. There are so many people who've contributed to tonight, but the group that I have to single out right now are the friends of our program, and in particular, our alumni. Thank you for standing before. I cannot thank you enough on behalf of our athletic program and our university. Thank you very much. Finally, I would turn around and look directly at them, but I had the chance to do it upstairs, and I've also had a chance to talk to them privately. The Aberdeen family, Lynn, and your family, Stu Aberdeen, Mr. Aberdeen, he's a legend. He brought a group of people together here at Acadia University, elevated basketball in the country. Right now, if you go back through the history of CIS sport, Acadia basketball is the third most significant program in the history of the country, and it's because Stu set the bar so high. We've got a lot of work to do, but we stand on the shoulders of those people that came before us, including Stu, including the people that are here tonight. I cannot think of a better honor at a university to bestow on somebody than to think that the court that they stood on before is now renamed the Stu Aberdeen Court. So to the Aberdeen family, sincerely, thank you so much. I want to welcome up right now somebody who's going to talk a little bit more intimately about Stu Aberdeen, a friend of mine, somebody that's left his footprints here at Acadia in a lot of different ways, one of the best basketball players to ever play in our country, and somebody that I know had an influence on Mr. Aberdeen, and Stu also had an influence on him, Brian Heaney.
Thank you very much, Kevin. I appreciate having the opportunity to speak tonight, and it's my honor to speak and represent the views and the stories and the exchanges I've had with Steve over here on the bench and all of my compadres here. Many of these players that are here tonight, and one, Peter Simmons, came all the way from Victoria, British Columbia, just to be here with all of us, were idols of mine when I came out of high school and began my career at Acadia. So my comments are meant on behalf of all of them, and I'm simply the vehicle to exchange some stories with all of you. So I appreciate this opportunity to say a few words on behalf of our former players, managers, and coaches here tonight. And thanks to President Ray Ivany, who for his leadership and for being here personally tonight. Ray spent a great deal of time with all of us prior to the game, and that was much appreciated. And to Kevin Dickey for his leadership in the development of this wonderful project of bleachers and what you see scripted and scribed on the floor in Stu's honor tonight. It's much appreciated. And to Len Hawley of Acadia here for his hours of contact and follow-up with so many former players, and to our Alumni and Development Office at the university, along with all the present coaches, for making this event possible in the memory of Stu Aberdeen. Our thanks to Coach Aberdeen's beautiful family for joyfully returning to Wolfville, and I might say joyfully. They couldn't wait to get here, both to the town and the valley today, to enrich this evening for all of us. And thanks to our alumni players, team managers, and assistant coaches who were part of the Stu Aberdeen programs, who are here tonight out of love and respect for our greatest of basketball coaches, whose name is now indelibly woven into Acadia sport history. Stu Aberdeen loved this university and was proud of every aspect of what Acadia is. He led his recruiting talks, and I was subjected to those as a high school player, with academics first. He bragged about Acadia's magnificent faculty. He painted verbal pictures of the beauty of the campus and conveyed the support of the community for athletics here. And then finally, at the end, with a mixture of his humility, and confidence, he would talk about his Axemen basketball program and his goal to become one of the nation's finest. Before he came here in 1958, many folks hadn't necessarily come to the game in town. So he took his game of basketball out to the people all over Nova Scotia and became, in a sense, Acadia's most inspiring ambassador. He worked the Annapolis Valley, encouraging people to take notice, and he committed his time and knowledge to help them build a sport in their own schools and communities throughout Nova Scotia. He joined the Rotary and connected with business people here in the Valley. He personalized his invitations to people throughout the town to come join our fans and make the Acadia Axemen far more than only a campus program. He broadened its appeal throughout the entire province. Those of us who knew him and played for him were lifted up every day, and we talked about this all through the early evening tonight, by his motivation and inspiration to work hard, improve our skills, and compete with fervor with the goal of playing winning basketball at Acadia on behalf of the university. One of his finest players at the University of Tennessee, where Stu spent 11 years after leaving Acadia, was quoted recently as saying that he remembers Stu for three things. He was the hardest working coach I've ever known. He loved the game more than anybody I've ever met. And he helped me do things on the basketball court I wasn't ever supposed to do. We here tonight who played for him all would agree with that. Bobby Douglas, a member of the Acadia Sports Hall of Fame himself, who wrote the book Life is a Ball, described Coach Aberdeen as tireless in his effort, fiery in his passion, and with unbridled determination to get the job done, whatever that was. And this was indeed the coach we knew. Stu had a special pride in Acadia that lasted his lifetime. He took that message far and wide wherever he traveled. In short, one could say he just loved this place. Tonight, Acadia reciprocates that feeling to his memory and recognizes his valiant contribution to Acadia athletics during his tenure here that's been the foundation for decades of success in basketball at the university, in the Annapolis Valley, and indeed across Atlantic Canada. So finally, thank you again to the Aberdeen family, all of you, for being here tonight to share with us our love one more time. And of course, to Stu's beloved wife, Lynn, who is thrilled to share in the stories of the great times gone by with all of us playing a role in that. All of our fellow players here tonight, former coaches and team managers, and those whom we represent who could not join us here this evening say, thank you for this honor for our coach. He was indeed world-class. And in reaching back in time to remember Stu Aberdeen with this dedication, we say thanks so much for the memories of him and of Acadia that have lasted for all of our lifetimes.
This time I'm going to ask Brian to join Kevin Dickey and Lynn Aberdeen to gather around and officially unveil a plaque that will commemorate Stu Aberdeen. This plaque will be permanently displayed on the wall outside the main entrance to the gymnasium. The unveiling of this plaque serves as the official naming of War Memorial Gymnasium's court, to be known from this day forward as Stu Aberdeen Court. It gives me great pleasure to welcome to the podium Lynn Aberdeen.
We met President Ivany earlier, Len Hawley, Kevin Dickey, Kevin Duffy. A famous football coach many years ago said, "You win with people." Coaches teach, they help you improve, they coach the X's and O's, but they cannot play the game. You all are responsible for this, and the family and I thank you very, very much. Let's play ball. We need to get on to this game.
And Lynn, I'd like you to stay for just a moment. I'm going to ask two of our Axemen basketball players, Kyle Arsenault and AJ Simmons, to come forward.
I'm AJ. Nice to meet you. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you. It was fantastic.
And this officially concludes our ceremony. If you haven't noticed on the floor, Stu Aberdeen Court is named on both sides of the gymnasium. Acadia expresses its sincerest appreciation to its alumni for generously supporting our bleacher replacement program, former Stu Aberdeen players who have joined us here tonight, and of course the Aberdeen family. Enjoy the game.